good morning, everybody. It is Friday, January 15th, and I'm on my ride into work, another 2-hour drive. So, I had to get out of the barn a little bit with this camera, and I thought, this would be a nice way, since I don't have a lot of time to make new content at the moment. That's why you guys see a lot of compilation type videos, things like that going on. So thought it'd be nice, get out of the barn, maybe take you guys to work with me for a little bit today. Won't take you to every job because I can't really run the camera in front of a lot of customers. Where I'm going this morning, we're going to be in a church basement working on some boilers. An issue we've had with this one, delayed ignitions, things like that. It's a brand new steel tube steam boiler, but it is a pretty ride, I can say that, but it is a long one. So anyway, I thought it'd be nice to do some updates here a little bit, as far as maybe it'd be nice once in a while run the camera, answer some viewer questions on camera instead of always just typing back in the comments. Just what's going on, I don't know how often we'll do these, but they're easy to do, I can tell you that. Just throw the GoPro up, have the microphone on it, and bam, we're in business. So anyway, one question I had was from Lars Ekman. He wanted to know about wiring that workout room and office space, and he noticed I have not run any electrical work in it yet. I said before a long time ago when we put the panel box in the barn that I do not like putting wire inside the walls of an outbuilding. Especially mice love to inhabit those cavities, and a lot of times what burns buildings like that down is electrical fires. And mice, what they like to do when you drill your holes for your wires, they like to scoot up by your wires in those holes, so a lot of times they'll end up gnawing on the wires to make more room, then you get some shorts. Now you can combat that with MC cable, things like that, which is a metal clad cable. It used to be see in the old houses BX cable. It's pretty much the same thing, except for this stuff carries a ground inside of it. So that's why we do a lot of that. We're trying to put most everything in conduit and MC cable, just to protect from rodents, because I live in the middle of a hayfield and there are plenty of mice. But so that was one I thought, Lars, appreciate the comment and the question, buddy. He comments on just about everything I do, so it's appreciated. But the other thing, other good news along the line with moving forward onto the next project here, the next big project, is I'm getting ready to go pull permits for it. So where I live, I have to have a zoning permit and a building permit, and being as how the addition is under 1,500 square feet, I do not need to get it engineered stamped. Now there are a few things I'm going to have to do, being as how we're adding on. So when I built the house, I did it on a monolithic slab, and it's a single-story ranch house. I have 5 courses of block on one end of the house, 4 courses on the other. So what we need to do when I add on, I have a lower roof. It's lower by about 6-8 inches. I'm actually going to be cutting the eaves off, raising that roof to match the other one before we actually frame in the roof for the house addition. So that's going to be fun. So that's one thing I have to do for tying in to the existing house. And it's not that I have to do it, but it'll make it a lot cleaner look when we're all said and done. The other thing I need to do, we're putting a full metal roof on the addition, as well as re-roofing the house in metal. So I live in a wind tunnel. A lot of you guys who watch for a long time, you guys know about the wind tunnel effect. It's a pain right in the ass. So every time we get a good windstorm, I lose shingles off the roof, and nowadays it's a lot harder for me to get up on that roof and replace those shingles. So I have some. The roof doesn't leak or anything like that, but I've got a bunch of shingles I have to get up there and replace. And yeah, I will be tied off, I can tell you that. I don't need any more self-inflicted experiments with gravity to teach me a few more lessons about life. So we don't need that. The other thing we have to do when I pour the new slab, I've got to drill and pin it with rebar into the new slab. It just kind of helps everything tie together, helps it flow a little bit. I'll also be putting a bonding agent on the edges of the existing slab when we pour concrete to help the new concrete kind of bond to it, a little bit of a chemical bond there. So that'll be good. We'll see what happens. But other than that, we're just kind of maintaining it. I've kind of hit a point in the channel right now to where it's hard for me to make the videos inside the barn. For one, time-wise, I've always been a shoot everything in one go kind of guy, and it's hard for me to do it piecemeal. I have trouble getting my thoughts collected. If I'm trying to shoot the same video over the course of 3 or 4 nights, and sometimes the last couple ones have been 2 weeks in between, and that's a real pain for me. I just, when I sit down to edit, just have trouble focusing when it's all broken up like that. When I get into the rhythm of filming, running the camera, you know, most of my videos you guys have seen have been done in one evening or during the day on a weekend when I have time. And that's kind of the style I like to go with. That's why it's always so many parts to a series. It's because you guys are getting it as I'm doing it. Well, this year has been impossible to do that just because of all the out-of-town work and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm on a 2-hour ride right now heading northeast to the first job in the morning. But it is what it is. You know, you got to make a living. I love doing the videos. I would be doing them if I didn't do them, but there comes times, and anybody who's been on this platform for a long time and you put a lot of videos out, you get a little worn down, and you don't come to hate it, but you get kind of a mental block. And that's where I'm at right now creatively with doing the videos. I mean, they get to where they start all looking the same, and I know some of you have noticed that, judging by the comments I've had. You get the same camera angles, you get the same talking points, nothing really changes. So it's kind of exciting to be moving into another big project where I can really get a lot out of that creative wise on top of the project. So the new structure adding on to the house is going to be a hybrid timber frame stick frame. So the timber frame portion of it's not going to be very big. It's going to be something like 16 by 20. And the house addition itself is going to be 20 by 28. 8 feet of that's going to be a roofed over back porch, a place for the boss lady and I just to sit, have a cup of coffee, stare at the cows and look at the woods, which is kind of nice. We're getting to a point now where our kids are getting older, and we're kind of trying to make more time for ourselves again, for her and I, which we had not done in a lot of years. So it's almost like you're getting to know each other again. So these little projects, that's kind of helping that along. So the actual living space inside, like I said, it's going to be 20 by 20. There's going to be a 4-foot by 20-foot long closet in the space, because when I built the house, no closets. We have one closet by the front door, and it is just totally inadequate. But the house is kind of small. It's 1,456 square feet. It's kind of small to do. It was kind of small, the rooms are, to put closets in them, and it's a big regret. So if you guys are looking to build a house, boy, I can recommend make sure you have some closet space in there, because it makes a big difference. So there's 5 of us in our house right now, and it is getting cramped. So this year, this spring starting, the addition 20 by 28 off the back of the house, and I'm hoping next year to do a 20 by 28 off the front of the house with a L-shaped front porch. You guys will see, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, and I always have big plans, you guys know that. But so that's where we're at. I'm real excited to be getting to moving forward on this project finally. It's one of those ones that have been in the back of my mind for a long time. It was kind of like the barn, you know, you plan it, and you're planning, and you're planning, and it gets to a point where you just get so sick of planning, waiting to be able to start that project. And sometimes tell you what, there's times you can burn yourself out on a project before you even start. And burnout is a real thing, I can tell you that. You know, you start getting where your creativity starts to lack and your will to do much of anything starts to lack. You definitely have to guard yourself against that. And when that starts to happen, kind of step away from it for a few days. Take care of yourself, do some of the things you have to do. But anyway, I guess we've rambled on enough here. So I'm going to keep driving. Maybe we'll get a little footage of the boiler when we get to where we're going. We'll see. All depends on if I have a customer standing around or anything like that. It's one of those things I just don't like running the camera in front of customers. So anyway, hope you guys like this. This is different, but you know, once in a while I just got to sit down in front of the camera and just have a talk with you guys, see how everything's going, see what everybody's up to, give you guys some updates as to what's going on behind the scenes, because doing it, you know, a few seconds in a regular video's not always all that easy, but it is what it is. So anyway, have fun everybody. I'll catch you on the next one.